everyone, it's Amy with Mighty, and today I want to walk you through some cool ways that we're using the Mighty Rich Text Editor and provide some inspiration for your next Rise course. So let's dive in. I want to start out with this first section here. So we've also turned off the lesson headers, so when you do preview the course, it jumps you right in. We like that because it gives you this nice clean look without having this show up. So one thing that's great about the Mighty Text Editor is we now have the ability to add in additional fonts outside of the two that you upload in the theme or you set in the theme. So for instance, right now we're using Universe Light and Bold, and that is the paragraph text. As you can see, I have a paragraph block here, but if I really wanted to, I could come in and add in a third font that I feel like really helps support everything else in here. So I'm going to choose Gotham Medium, and these are all fonts that we've uploaded in the past, as well as default fonts that Rise has. So if I do Gotham Medium, I also have the ability to track out my text or give it letter spacing. So if I set that to 3, it just helps make this subheading a little more readable. I can also reduce the size of it a little bit, and there we go. We can also, now with the Rich Text Editor inside of Mighty, go past Rise's 52 max. So you could get wild and crazy and go all the way up to 420 if you want to. That probably won't be the case for many, but I can show you reasons why we do have that. And then let's just set this to 108. So that already is a really strong headline. It's bolder, it's a little more in your face, it's great. But with that, with making it larger, it also has provided like these larger gaps that I don't necessarily want. So we can also adjust the line height, which is the space in between each line of text. And let's say I'll do 1.0. If I go ahead and preview this. This already is starting to feel more like a website versus your typical e-learning. Awesome. So next we're going to go to a statement, and we oftentimes use statements to do like call outs or quotes, things like that. And I think they're great. But for instance, I use statement C and the text was huge, so I didn't really feel like going that big with it. I want it to be on its own, but still not take over. So I reduced the size of the text from the original, and it puts large gaps in between here. You can also see it's taking on the heading font, which I don't really want in this case. So what I'm going to do is use my custom font selector, and actually bring back the paragraph text, which already feels a little bit better. I really need to adjust that line height. Yep, so that's starting to feel like it actually goes together. Now, I'm always going to adjust the padding just so it, oops, there we go, just so it has a little bit of breathing room. And then this still feels a little bit off, so this is the author or the person who said this specific quote. So again, using the custom font, I am going to bring back the Gotham Medium, which I used up here. And it comes in huge, but I can adjust it down. It's a little too small to where I want it. Add in a little bit of tracking. And then let's reduce that. So it feels like it goes together, and it doesn't take away too much from everything surrounding it. Now, also with Rise's content width, you can set it as you'd like, but I think I'm going to keep it small here. So there's another example on how we're using Mighty's Rich Text Editor. Great. So as we scroll down, you're going to see this next section here is an accordion, and I think it's pretty good. It kind of hides some information, so it feels like the learner has to click on it. But I think with this type of information, it makes a little more sense to do something more highly visual So I've actually created a block template, otherwise I will be here for a while recreating these. But I basically took all this information out from this accordion and added it into a simple 3-column text. But now with Mighty's additional fonts and our rich text editor, all the good stuff, we can make it feel a little bit stronger. So here I'm going to take our standard paragraph text and actually come in and change it to what is now the heading text. Same thing, probably should have highlighted those together, but there we go. We can also adjust the height, or the size, I'm sorry, of the text to match. I have a little cheat sheet here with the sizes so I can quickly show you. And now, since we can make it larger than 52 points, I'm gonna bring it on up to, what was that? 168, yep. And we're feeling pretty close. Again, additional fonts. We're gonna bring in that third font, which is Gotham Medium. Reduce the size of it to 15, and I've already tracked it out before this to 2. So it's looking highly visual. I'm gonna just go ahead and delete this out, but it's obviously not quite the right colors here. So what's really great about Mighty is we now have the color picker. So I highlighted the myth and the 3, and I can just color pick the other ones on the screen. I could also have an entire palette up next to me to just grab those colors outside of the browser. And in this case, I'm just gonna we'll grab this gold up here. And then I can't move on without just making that a little bit more exciting. I'll change that to gold. And there we go. I hope that is inspiring to show you some ways on how we use our rich text editor inside of Mighty.